So now we're going to switch gears. We're going to go from the employee experience in the employee portal to the agent experience or the caseworker experience through the case management console. So this is the case management console. Just make sure I'm logged in still. When you come into the system as an HR agent, the first thing you'll notice is you come to your My Cases view. This is sort of the default view that we have set up. Not to say it's required, but it's the most common, and you'll see why it makes a lot of sense for most employees. When you come in, you'll be able to immediately see all the cases that you have ownership of, that you're working on. This is a great way to just at a glance be able to see what the status of your cases is, to be able to look through. This is also configurable to the employee or the caseworker, so you can kind of drag and drop your fields. You can sequence them the way you want, you can sort them the way you want, and you've got a whole variety to choose from. In addition, there's a viewer, so if we're looking to just kind of get caught up on our cases and we want to see what the status is or if there's any updates and communications, we can cycle through this really quite easily. You can sometimes folks will leave this open. Sometimes folks just want to open it up when they're just kind of getting caught up. They've been away from their desk for a little while. In addition to this, I'll just highlight a couple things with the colors before we move on. The first is the SLA, the service level agreement. So you can set service level agreements across all your cases or within specific case types and have them sort of tailored to those specific case types. Think of it as a way of tracking what the overall or common time frame those cases should be resolved in, or you'd expect them to be resolved in, taking into account various parameters you might want to bring into play, like work, business hours, weekends, holidays. But the other thing that's nice about this, in addition to being able to like color code and be able to visually see as your cases are aging, is also to use it in combination with Dovetail's workflow engine. The workflow system allows you to automate just about anything that could be done manually. In the case of SLAs, we would do things like automate notifications, let you know as it's progressing, maybe give the caseworker a reminder that the case is kind of aging or it's getting a little bit long in the tooth. Maybe do some escalations, such as notify a manager if it turns red, or even possibly do something like reassign the case. So you've got a lot of flexibility there to determine what you'd like to do above and beyond just kind of matching the color schemes here. But if nothing else, it does provide a nice visual benefit to be able to see that. The other element I want to bring up is these employee tags. These are configurable items. We get these from an employee's data feed from your HRIS system from any potential client. We would have that feed come into the system, usually through our secure FTP, be provided on a nightly basis. When it does, we can add information that we get from that, such as like full-time and part-time, or any of these examples where you might find that that's useful information to see when you see the employee's name. Again, this is something that we would build out as part of the implementation. It's very configurable. And it could be something that's automatically provided in the case of like full-time and part-time as a good example. Could be something that you manually assign as part of a case. You want to assign and note something so you see it the next time or other caseworkers would see it. Or it could be something that's applied automatically through that workflow as part of a case. So you can see this, for example, Bill's investigation tag here. If he was in an investigation for a specific case, we could either have that manually or automatically applied. Right. I'm going to expand out a couple other views before we get into the cases themselves. You'll see we're in the My Cases view. There's a My Solutions. So there's a knowledge base in the system that we will be talking about once we get into the cases. And then next up, you'll see information about queues. I'm going to expand that out for you. Queues, think of these as the way that cases are directed to the appropriate people to work on the cases, where they can accept them and work on them. Almost like a folder, if you will. So in my demo system here, I've created a two-tier system, and I've also created different functional areas that can respond to cases, so that cases can come in and either go directly to, say, a help desk where someone could do some triage or handle the simple informational requests, and then redirect cases that need to the right functional department. Queues can be configured any way that you would like. Could be a single queue, could be multiple queues. They can represent departments or functional areas. They could represent geographic areas as well, or even buildings in some cases. So however you'd like to have that set up is something that we can build out for you, and you can expand and leverage it as you grow. All right, so we're going to now create a case, and I can give you a better sense for how all this will work. We're going to go through this manually. Keep in mind that cases can be created manually, as we're going to show you, through email, through the employee portal, which we showed you previously, and also through APIs. If we were to come in here and someone was to say, have a 401k info request, as we saw before, first thing I want to note here is as I'm typing this, I don't know if you're seeing here to the right, but we get these matching solutions popping up, similar to how we do in the portal. Here you have a 401k overview. Maybe there's an FAQ here that they want to reference if they're talking to someone on the phone or if they're going through the information. And this would be a great way for them to be able to see, hey, oh, hey, there's information here that they would be able to reference, that they could send to the employer, that they could provide that information to them as they go through. Also, it's very easy to create these, by the way. So if I need to, I can just show you what this would be. It's much like a simple Gmail or webmail where I have all this rich text formatting to create these. I can insert pages and tables and images. I can even use HTML if I'm so inclined to do some of that.